The internet is a word, and we all know what is it. But there's another one, hidden, that not everyone knows.
Is the deep web, and in effect represent the new frontier of online illegality.
It's a huge virtual place full of tons of users, sure not to be tracked or caught in any way.
The deep web was born about 30 years ago.
For a good cause. During the war, the great powers provided it to their soldiers, so that they could communicate without trace and without being caught.
Then,
Over time, people started working on it, and from a military network, it became a reality accessible to all.
but who can go in there?
Pretty much anyone. Just a computer, an internet connection, and if you know how to do it, you're in it.
Being able to enter this network is very easy. Just install a free program to start it, and in a few clicks you are ready to navigate in absolute anonymity.
From here, we're in, and we can connect to thousands of sites that are reachable only after entering the deep web.
If we try, in fact, to connect to one of these through the classic internet, would be non-existent.
The deep web, therefore, is the container of all those sites that I cannot simply looking for in internet.
Drugs in here is one of the main topics. You can find yourself, in fact, in front of pages full of manuals on how to produce any kind of amazing substance at home. You can go from the more experienced ones, who follow you to extract morphine and heroin from medicines, to those for cooking amphetamine and cocaine with a list of ingredients and documented procedures, step by step, with very detailed photographs. Then there are the black markets, real supermarkets of illegal goods. The most popular products are weapons and drugs, of all kind and for all taste, all strictly certified by photos taken by the same users, who, to ensure the actual possession, behind put a sheet where written their nicknames. Obviously, we Italians do not miss, and we are mostly occupied in the sale of drugs and fake documents. These sites are very similar to the classic online commerce portals. Each user, once registered, can create his profile, enter the products, the description, the price, communicate with buyers, and issue a positive or negative opinion depending on the success of the sale.
In practice, it works like eBay, with the difference that here you pay in another way.
In the deep web, there are no euros and dollars, credit card and PayPal, because if you use them, you risk to being tracked. The only thing you can use are bitcoins.
A real virtual currency that has many advantages. For example, transactions are instantaneous between person to person, without middle banks, and therefore without commission fees. Opening an account is quite simple, and anyone can do it, without requirements and guarantees. And through a software and a whole series of steps, you can, without a trace, turn real money into virtual, so you can buy what you want in the deep web. However, you don't just buy goods, but also services, such as hiring an hacker, an 100% frontman, and even the possibility of hiring a personal killer.
It's hard to think that it's possible to hire a killer just by sending an email.
It's not all true. Just as there are scams on the internet, exist even those in the deep web.
But despite so many fakes, as probably that one of the killer, some proposals seem real.
Fake money, Afghan hashish, cocaine, even the reviews can be false, and essentially, this place is based on mutual trust.
At this point, if you think you've seen enough, you're really wrong. In fact, by looking deeper into the deep web, we could find more terrifying materials.
The most wanted in absolute is the pedopornographic material. It's also the one that went faster from the traditional web to the deep web. These represent a new frontier of pedophily, and behind it there are millions of dollars traveling from a pole of the globe to the contrary. An extremely big amount of money.
Even if
the most important part of affairs is taken by exchanges. In one night there can be millions of exchanges of pornographic content.
to better understand these processes, we met an agent of the Shield. No, sorry. An agent of the CNCPO.
There's full of places that concern these illegal exchanges in an anonymous way.
These places are obviously well hid.
Yes, they are. The addresses aren't public but given by word to mouth, and there are plenty of them. These sites appear like mushrooms and have over 300,000 of visitors per day. Many are closed, but as many are reopened. In a couple of nights, thousands of videos are sized.
It's very important to understand that even only the vision of this type of material is an extremely serious crime.
The materials are grouped with specific codes in the file name, allowing you to know their contents before you buy them.
The huge amount of child pornographic material has led the users of the deep web to organize themselves into real communities. These are like meeting points for pedophiles.
In these places, we can read among the most varied conversations and also find tips not to be discovered when approaching children. The deep web is an impervious place for investigators, but surely isn't a safe place for criminals. This is because CNCPO exists and will continue fighting implacably. No!
Sì, perfetto.
This because CNCPO exists and will continue fighting implacably. Eravamo arrivati alla fine!